Hey, welcome back guys. I am so excited to share another budget-friendly DIY tutorial with you today. In this video, I'll be showing you how I created this high-end look for less bamboo hamper that I saw online at Kirkland's for $79.99. Now, as you can see, their version is 14 by 14 by 25. My version will be approximately 10 inches by 8 inches by 12 inches. Now, I knew that I could recreate this for way less using a set of bamboo placemats that I had purchased from my local 79-cent store, a piece of fabric which I picked up from Walmart, plus other Dollar Tree items I already had at home. Now, enough of my talking. Let's jump right into the video. These are the items that you're going to need for this project. For your convenience also, check the description box below for a detailed list of all the supplies and tools that I used for this DIY as well as for all my other projects. If you have a white pillowcase, that's perfect. You're also going to need some white paint, your pins, a tape measure, hot glue, as well as a strong adhesive. Now I'm starting with the cardboard box, which is very sturdy. You're going to take one of the placemats and you're going to measure the length and the width, which is 17.5 inches by 12. You're going to use your tape measure and mark the length on the box, starting at one end and going around to the other side. And you'll do the same for the other side of the box. Then you're going to take your ruler and draw a line down the box from the top to the bottom. If you can find a box with the exact measurement, this part of it you won't have to do. And then you're going to flip the box over and use the same measurement. You see me measuring, marking off 8 inches, but it should actually be 7 inches. Then you're going to take the X-Acto knife and you're going to separate the two pieces. You're then going to remove the excess cardboard. That's the open side. Now, as you can see, it didn't quite meet all the way, so I had to use some paint stirrers, which I got from Home Depot, to close up the opening. This should give you the same measurement as the other side. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome to the DIY Craftaholic family. I am so happy to have you. If you enjoy crafting on a budget, you have come to the right place. So please consider subscribing to my channel, clicking that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. I then used some painter's tape to cover the section that was joined. Before you add your paint, just take one of your mats and just line it up with the box to make sure that your measurements are okay before you add the paint. I applied one coat of white acrylic paint. You can use your chalk paint or you can spray if you desire. But I went with the white acrylic paint and just gave it one coat because of course it's going to be covered. For a nicer finish, I decided to use some paint stirrers to cover the bottom of the box. This part is optional, of course. You can choose to leave it as is or you can do what I am doing here. I then applied some watered down Waverly chalk paint in the color of Ivory with a wet paper towel as well as a coat of Mod Podge. And like I said, the bottom is optional. If you don't want to paint it, you can leave it as is. Then I set that aside to dry and I'm now going to be working on the lining. For the lining, you're going to measure out 18 inches wide by 20 inches long on the fabric and cut 2 pieces. Now, to make it easier for me, I pinned the seams down to keep both pieces of fabric in. And now we're heading over to our sewing machine. Now, see, I'm stitching 1/2 inch on the seam, and you're going to start at one end, go right around to the other end. So when you're done, you should get a box shape with the top open. After you have finished joining the pieces, at the bottom you're going to measure 4 inches inwards and 4 inches downwards, and then you're going to pin that. Then you're going to pick up the outer seam and lay it on top of the other seam to form a triangle. Then you're going to stitch on the 4-inch marks from the outer part inwards. Then, to make sure that both sides are of the same measurement, line up that side on top of the other side and stitch. Then you're going to measure off 4 inches from the top and pin. Then you fold over 2 inches to meet that 4-inch mark and turn under a 1/2 inch seam and stitch that down. This will become the area which you're going to be folding over on the edge of the basket. Now let's put our hamper together. We're now going to apply some strong adhesive as well as hot glue to the box before laying down the mat. We're using fix-it-all glue from the dollar store. And once you have applied enough glue as well as the hot glue, you're going to line up the edges of the placemats starting at one corner and then pressing down as you move inwards. And I'm using some of those clips from the Dollar Tree to hold it in place. Then you're going to apply some hot glue to the next side as well as the fix-it-all glue and lay down the other mat and use the clips to hold that down again. Make sure to get enough glue in the corners, especially where the edges meet, because you want that to remain intact. Now, because some of the areas were still left uncovered, I cut down some skewers from the Dollar Tree. Glued those to the corners as well as the bottom, and I also did the trim of the box. That is all done. Now it's time to insert our lining. You are going to insert your lining on the wrong side. Do not turn it over, and then you're going to turn over the edges. It was a little bit too roomy, and so I inserted 2 box pleats. I made the pleat by picking up about 1/4 inch of the fabric and turned it to the right, and I did the same thing by turning it to the left, and that gave me the box pleat. I then used the hot glue to hold that in place, made a small bow, glued that on, and we're done. I absolutely love how this turned out. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this bamboo hamper and whether you would try a DIY like this. Be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe to my channel. Why not go ahead and check out this video or this playlist and follow DIY Craftaholic on Pinterest and Instagram. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.